You, I fought for the family, I fought for our country. Above all, I fought for America.
Stick 'em.
We extend our best wishes, and we also want them to have luck. A very important word. Please don't lose that respect. The world respects us again. Please don't lose that respect. Make America great again.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Press the button, Josh.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This isn't light and dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
There should be an and Lucas in there too. What's up, Lucas? I see you there in chat.
A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He
See, I'm not
arrives
really sure what's going
precisely
on, but
when he
when you
means
just said hello to Lucas, it's the first time I've heard any sound since the show started.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
We are professional, Walter.
No, it's not you, because our music faded out. Like our music that TFR plays, the Iron Fist song, faded out about halfway through, and I was thinking it was time for music. Never heard anything you played. Never heard anything you said. I'm flipping around trying to figure out what happened. Did my earphone die? Did my connection die? Because they're both wireless charged, things. So I thought maybe they had died on me. And then suddenly you said, "And Lucas." I'm like, okay, what is going on here?
That's really strange.
I'm hearing both of you. But yeah, everything went away there for me on all the other audio fronts until you spoke again. Apparently Lucas fixed it all. The magic of Lucas. Hello, Lucas, out there in chat, I'm assuming, which I haven't even gotten to because I was in an audio panic.
So you don't hear any soundboard?
Oh, no. Right now? You're playing soundboard?
I just did a screaming goat. What the hell is going on? Huh. All right, well.
Chat, are you hearing Josh's noises, like songs and goats and stuff? What's up, Bobo? I see you there in chat, too. I finally got over there.
Morning, Bob.
And all the rest. I'm going to get to y'all, I promise. It's just taking a minute. It's kind of a weird morning, as you hear.
Yeah, it is a bit of a weird morning.
You know what it could be? It could be the audio routing that you had to do for Friday's show. Whatever that may have been, to get Joy in the call and through the Skype call and et cetera that we wound up having to do.
That might be. Let me double check.
Huh?
I said that could be. Let me double check.
Something's definitely up on my end. We're not hearing it, and that's fine if everybody else is. I'll be talking over things. do it anyway, I know. Well, speaking of joy, since we already have, good morning. I see you there in chat. Thank you so much for the amazing show Friday. Perseverance is definitely the key word for Friday's show. My goodness, we made it happen, though, by the hardest. I felt like we were being kept off the air there for a little while. And we would not go down in defeat. So after an hour, truly, of finally fighting the beasts off, we got the call going. And was it definitely worth the wait? Thank you as well. I think I saw Calum there in the chat. I could maybe totally be wrong. Nope, there he is. What's up, Special K? And I haven't seen David yet, but he should be here in a minute, usually. But yeah, it was great all the way around. I did see your email as I was waking up, or maybe that was as I was laying down late last night, realizing it wasn't Sunday night. It was actually Monday. Because we here in Louisiana, we had a 5-day weekend because of it being Mardi Gras. Literally, once she got through with the paper late Thursday, she was pretty much done. And then they had, I guess it was there a president thing somewhere in the middle of all this, maybe?
I think that was supposed to be yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that's going on somewhere, too, in the world.
What? How masturbatory
I mean, I
is
haven't
that?
bought any sheets in years. No, I'm kidding.
What does that tell
what
you?
you do on President's Day, Sal? Buy sheets? Anyway.
What does that tell you when the federal government has to set up a specific day just so that you can celebrate its president? Hey, you celebrate this today. Don't forget how great he is. We'll put this on
Welcome,
George Washington's
Lowry,
birthday.
to the show. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking over you. There you go. It already starts again. I'll shut up.
No, I think I might have figured it out.
Wake up.
Did you hear Elsa?
I hear the noise. I
Okay.
hear the noise. I hear the noise.
Nope, you were right. It was settings I had to change in Skype.
But anyway, as I was saying there, I will answer your lovely email, and it definitely got me thinking about a few things. In fact, I may address them, actually. Before we get off too far and too deep, how are you, Zach? How are you, Josh?
Not too bad. It is stiff neck. Shoulders. Started when I was laying down last night. It was weird. You know, like you get that thing right in the middle of your shoulder blades?
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and I figured it'd be gone by now, but it's not. It's still there. Need to do some more stretchings.
What you've been doing for the trivia show? That's tonight, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Zach sitting in front of a computer with 4 screens open, studying, eating walnuts. I'm gonna be smart.
Right.
I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna be smart.
Beer stein full of raw eggs.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared. Jaron said he did good on the first one. I was like, what? I did not.
According to
so
who?
Hopefully this will be the one I do good on.
That's cool. We got this thing Ocean 11 for you. Remember the earbud we gave you?
Uh-huh.
Shh.
I don't know. I never could cheat. And
Well, that's why
stuff
we're
like
here.
that.
We'll help. Don't worry.
No, I mean, I could cheat in school and stuff like that on my teacher, you know. That was no big deal, but you don't cheat your friends. You know, that's not something you do. I never cheated when I was playing. Well, I did when I was playing poker, but it was usually me and my friends cheating against other people that we invited over.
Hey, real quick, push that button, Josh. I said it during the intro, but with all the audio fun, you may not have heard me.
See, I heard you say push the button in like a super slow-mo robot.
Yes, I was saying it really crazily in the middle of the music, I thought, but it didn't work out apparently.
Well, it was right as Iron Fist was trailing out, so I thought you meant hit the morning button, the actual music button. So that's what I did.
Right.
Like I was working on it. I was so close. I'm like, that's good timing though, Walt. You nailed it. Like, yep, boom, and I hit it. I thought it was all smooth and gravy. Nope, it was all
There was no gravy.
garbage.
There was no
It was steamy, hot garbage.
True Ironworx passion, baby.
Nemo cheating for charity.
Right.
You know what, Lowry? This could be a call-in show. This is not a call-in show. It's just not always a call-in show. If you're interested, we could make it a call-in show because Jesus Christ, let's get these fellers off.
Right. Welcome to the show, Burn. I'm Mind's Eye Science Guy. I was just pointed in your direction this last weekend and subbed and checked out the channel, and
yeah, there's all sorts of good stuff over on that channel. And everybody else,
right, go check it out, guys. I'll go link it up for you. Hang on.
I bet you 90% of our audience is already subscribed.
I'm sure they are. I'm always slow to find awesome content. Usually slow and behind.
So did you know that, I guess they're calling them the big three now. I've never seen these three names in the same article before.
There we
got Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, one that I've never heard of. But apparently they own more of Tesla to combine, those three combined, than Elon Musk now. I thought that was interesting. If you go look up these corporations or these companies, whatever you want to call them, and what they actually own, it's like everything. These people own Pfizer. They own like everything. The news agencies. These are the three right here. Actually, I never heard of State Street. I know Vanguard and BlackRock is huge. But it's weird to see their names in an article. Where's this from? Oh, Markets Insider. That's why. Yeah, not too many normal people reading Markets Insiders, probably. Yeah, it's just weird seeing those names all together in one spot. State Street. That's one to look into, folks. Go check out who runs State Street and all that kind of stuff. South Carolina, their committee has made advancements on their constitutional carry bill that's headed to the House floor. Very exciting times here in South Carolina. Now, constitutional carry, you have to open carry still, right? You can't conceal carry under constitutional carry?
I think that's right.
Or could it be different in each state? Because I know constitutional carry really isn't like a
legit.
Well, yeah, it's not like a federal term.
Right.
Yeah. They're just saying we want to follow what the Constitution says. Kinda.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about reciprocity and how uniformly and homogenized those firearms laws are.
The House committee passed it, the bill 16-7. So hopefully this is going to go through. And I've seen a lot more states. Yeah, if passed, South Carolina will be the 26th state to have this law now. And it was only, less than a decade ago, it was only like 11 states maybe. So we're seeing more and more of the states jumping on this. That's awesome.
What's awesome is it slowly applies pressure to the other states that are not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at what point were you going to be we're the 3 unconstitutional states? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think California, Illinois, and New York are really too worried about that, but those are my 3 guesses for who's going to be the last to do it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. I still haven't seen a whole lot come out of Chicago right now. I know their mayor, Beetlejuice or Lightfoot, is he's headed out the door now.
Beetlejuice Lightfoot. That is my new stage name.
But yeah,
just don't say
finally...
Gordon 3 times, otherwise Gordon's gonna come up. What was that song he did that I like so much? I'll have to find it.
You guys know who Don Lemon is?
So here's the problem. That's a mispronunciation.
Liz Lemon's dad on 30 Rock, I think.
And I think he gets more of a nuanced pronunciation. I think I think he is Don Lemon, I think is how he officially pronounces it.
Well, he can say it however he wants. I'm calling the guy Lemon. He's going to participate in his formal training. I guess. He said something, I guess. Yeah, it's saying he's going to be doing why is it formal training and not re-education? Isn't that what they're calling it for? What's his name? What's the guy that does all the tours and rips into everybody, all the nut jobs?
This clever
Peterson.
Jordan.
Is that it? Jordan Peterson, yeah. Didn't they just say he had to go to re-education centers or something like that? But Don Lemon gets to go to
That's a border right there.
Formal training.
Yeah, Canadians get re-education. Americans get formal training.
Formal training. Okay, so I guess he made a controversial statement about when women were in their prime.
Oh, yeah, this did sound familiar. Google it. Just Google it and see what Google says. Women are in their prime in their 20s and 30s and maybe even into their 40s.
For what?
That's what
childbirth?
And that's what all the women around him said. Prime for what? Childbirth? Prime for what are you talking about? You know, just like in their prime. Just Google it. Just Google it, he says. I Googled it. This is what it said. 20s, 30s, and even into their 40s. Women are in their prime.
I mean, I could say that men are in their prime between 13 to 21 when you're playing video games. I mean, you got to finish the frickin' sentence, dude. In their prime of what? Prime of just being? Come on now. Yeah, that was a dumb comment to come out of his mouth. Here's CNN Worldwide Chairman and CEO Chris Licht wrote in a memo to staff late Monday. I sat down with Don and had a frank and meaningful conversation. He has agreed to participate in formal training as well as continuing to listen and learn. We will take this situation very seriously.
It took some negotiations, but not only did he agree to listen, but to also learn. What the fuck?
I wouldn't doubt Don Lemon dressed in women's clothes. I'm just saying. Just saying. But yeah, from the little I've ever seen of Don Lemon, yeah, I could see him totally being like, yep, okay, whatever. I'll do it. Gotta be relative. Wasn't he the one who was like on their prime time for the longest time and now he's not?
No.
I don't know. I've been hearing stuff about him quite a bit lately. is like sliding down the ladder of leftism. I haven't heard anything new out of Ohio. Have you guys?
Yeah, I've heard a couple things. There's been another pretty decent sized explosion, mass casualty event in Ohio yesterday, I think. Some birds.
Near that one place? Near East Palestine?
Not too far. And it's not Palestine. Come on, that's a little too political. It's Palestine.
Oh. Good Lord. Are they seriously saying stuff like that?
Well, nobody pronounces it Palestine. Everybody pronounces it Palestine. East Palestine.
Really?
Yeah. Huh?
Because when I'd go down to southern Illinois, we'd go down to
Bears.
Palestine, Illinois.
What the fuck was I watching last night? There was a TV show I was watching. I don't remember what it was, but it was like somebody ranting and shouting, and that's one of the things. Oh, you know what it was? Was MST3K. We were watching Atlantic Rim, and that's one of the things that I think Crow shouts out it was Berenstain Bears, not Berenstein. I'm like, what the fuck? Just threw me off. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt with that.
And in some really scary news, well, it depends on how you look at it. I think it's a good thing, and it's kind of a really scary thing. They loaded AI into an F-16, I believe it was, and this thing was running, mock missions with no pilot. But it was able to make decisions that a pilot normally wouldn't make, like a danger, threat, risk assessment. And this thing, if they just have a 51% chance of winning, they still go for it. They're not, they don't feel G's. The AI doesn't, at least not like humans do, where we pass out. So this is really an advancement for our military might, in my opinion. They're talking about having manned aircraft up there with AI escorting them, like in a squadron with just one human instead of, 4 humans. It is, though, kind of scary that a fighter that size, I mean, a drone will kill you anyway, come on. But these fighters have big bombs. And yeah, it's kind of scary. And the name of it sounded so Terminator-ish. I don't think they said Skynet. They said something else. But I was just like, okay, this is getting a little creepy. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Giving F-16 to a computer to run.
I think I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, at first I was just like, and then I thought of all the good things that this could do, just as a military standpoint.
Think of
protecting the country.
Of the limitations that having a human pilot puts on that airplane.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was going. That's where my brain kept going. It's like, well, I mean, the only thing I could think of that would be better was be having a real pilot on the ground somewhere, kind of like we do our UAVs.
And I think that's the way it should be. You should have like 3 or 4 pilots in a little storage container somewhere out in the middle of the desert like they do. But instead of just like high altitude drones that they're controlling, they're actual like fighter jets. And you can have AI just control them until they start to engage. And then if you need to, you can have the human come and watch and take over if need be. Or even if to fire, the jet can follow and engage to a point. But if you want to actually shoot things down, that's going to require the human element. There could be all sorts of different ways you could make that work, I think. But I do kind of like the idea of not having the pilot up there. That would solve several problems, I would think.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but I think as far as military goes, I think it's great. Now, as far as my conspiratorial mind goes, it's kind of like, I don't know about this.
Yeah,
you know, the human pilot is the one nice thing that stops some nut job from killing, you know, lots and lots and lots of people.
Yeah, that specialized knowledge too keeps a 12-year-old from being able to fly an F-16.
So have they just thrown Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics out the window? Is that what we've done at this point? Did nobody watch that terrible Will Smith movie at least? I read the book when I was probably 8, but not even the Will Smith movie, huh? Okay, so the 3 Laws of Robotics are basically a robot can't hurt a person or through, like, they can't allow a person to be hurt kind of deal. They have to obey any orders a human gives them unless those orders would conflict with the first law. And then it has to protect its own existence if it doesn't conflict with the first 2 laws. So that's gone, I guess. It's not real. I know it's just a book. I understand.
But yeah, those would be laws that you would want, you know? Because like I'm saying, I don't think AI is going to become self-aware, but human beings program AI. And there are some really amazing hackers out there. Now, what's to say that a foreign military isn't able to hack into our F-16s, make them take off, and then turn on their own base? So yeah, it's like I said, it's a double-edged sword in a lot of different areas. It's,
you know, something that sticks out is the fact that we had to shoot down the bottleneck balloon club's balloons out of the sky because we couldn't figure out just what the hell it was up there. We just started literally just shooting anything we saw out of the sky for like the last couple of weeks. 4 balloons, just blasting them out of the sky. Fuck it. Stick around, we got more. The second half of the first half of the Ironworx coming right up after these brief messages.
My hero. That's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, "Who's your hero?" And I said, "I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks." I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, "Who's your hero?" I said, "I thought about it. You know who it is?" I said, "It's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, "So are you a hero?" And I was like, "Not even close. No. She said, "Why?" I said, "Because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero's always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing." So to any of us, whatever those things are, whatever it is we look up to, whatever it is we look forward to, and whoever it is we're chasing, to that I say amen. To that I say, all right. And to that I say, just keep living, huh?
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about, 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of Iron Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
And welcome back. I'm just gonna have to do it. Oh my God.
Do it.
Do it. Just had
Do
to
it.
Get rid of the studio. That white noise
Rum
was
and Coke.
killing me.
Do it.
For a change, it wasn't bothering me. Usually it's driving me nuts, but I guess my earbud is keeping it out or something. I don't know.
It wasn't as bad as it was Friday or whatever.
Yeah, Friday was beyond measure.
But it was definitely persistent in there enough to, light up the TFR mic. The little symbol on Skype saying, hey, we're loud enough to be broadcasting out for everybody to hear. So that was enough for me to be like, all right, I'm done.
So I haven't kept up with South. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go right ahead, Zachary.
Have you guys seen the new South Park?
No.
No, I don't. Yeah, I hadn't watched South Park in years and years.
This one will be worth going to just see a clip. I'm the same as you, Walt. When they started getting, like telling a story, like from beginning of the season to the end, it was like all one long, drawn out. They kind of lost me there. But I guess Meghan Markle has been upset and overwhelmed by a portrayal on South Park episode. So they covered Meghan and Harry. And now they're seeking out legal ramifications, according to royal expert. They ripped them pretty good. So it was all about, though the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were not directly named in the episode, it featured characters described as Canadian royalty and dubbed the Prince and his wife, which clearly parodied the couple. In the parody, the young royal couple begged for privacy while drawing attention to themselves in a spoof-like way. Yeah, they go on their Privacy World Tour. The show also calls the wife character a sorority girl, actress, influencer, and victim. To which she replies, yeah, that's totally me. And then the greatest part, I guess he wrote a book called Spare, S-P-A-R-E. And also plugged the Prince's book, but they renamed it Wah. So the royal family is kind of upset. Well, I bet most of the royal family's laughing. But yeah, Harry and Meghan are.
Did you hear
one
what?
of two South
I'm
Park.
sure you guys did. So, Spare, right? The reason he named his book Spare, I'm surprised nobody has covered this in our circle. But basically, because he was not the next in line, as a brother, his role was basically just to be emergency medical spare parts. That's why he named his book Spare, because that's how he feels as nothing more than just, I'm there as spare parts to make sure my brother can survive and live on. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is. That's kind of insane. That is like the real.
Yeah. That's the real. The true. So to speak.
The true. That's crazy. So who is, have they named the king yet? Is there a king yet?
It's a good question.
I am so out of the whole politics and or royalty and how that works over there. Do they have to wait a certain amount of time after the last king or queen passes before the throne? Or I don't know. How's this gonna? We need some of you islanders over there across the pond. Let us know how this all works. Liz says his book is already at the reduced price at her local bookshop. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't go flying off the shelves.
Right. Buy 3 because you might need a spare.
Oh, man. Okay, so he is king, just not coronated. Yeah, when do they do that? Is he supposed to be?
Then who fucking cares about a coronation? If you don't need a coronation to be king, then what's the fucking point of the coronation?
Well, those royals, they all got to have some reason to put on their fancy clothes and all stick their noses up in the air and rub elbows with each other.
I don't think they need a reason to do that shit. I think
they not a reason.
Just because they had somebody wipe their ass.
Seeing he's wrong. Charles is king. I don't know. Yep, I never really got too interested in all the royalty stuff. I know, it's a democracy, right? England's a democracy. They got the parliament. But they have the king. The queen has always had the right to hand wave dismiss parliament and say, okay, these are the new laws. According to what, at least what I remember. I think we've talked about this here, haven't we, Josh?
I think so.
The queen has the right to do away with parliament. And I'm not sure if it's whenever she wants or if it's under some type of, when the country's in duress. But I know that was one of the queen's powers. So it's like, yeah, you guys can take control of yourselves and this and that until you can't. Is how I always understood it. And I think that's how most of these democracies are set up.
Yes, this is that S word that is so key. The sovereignty. Who holds the sovereignty? In England, they would say it's the Queen. It's the royal family. And they can allot parts of their sovereignty out to the Parliament. And the MPs can do with it as they please, but I don't know that that's just like a permanent thing. It's still just at their behest, at their leisure. Can they just say, okay, well, I'm done letting you use my sovereignty. I'm taking my sovereignty back. Because that's what sovereignty is. And I think when you start dealing with the law movement, before I found Flat Earth, that's a lot of what it was taking your sovereignty back. As human beings, we've done the same thing that the Queen can do with Parliament, is we've doled out our sovereignty. Ta-da! It's called government. That's a de facto evidence that we've doled out our sovereignty. We've given them the power to do the things that we didn't necessarily want to do ourselves. And it's all about trying to take that sovereignty back and find that actual freedom that is screaming inside all of us, I think. That so many people try to make quiet. Shh, shh, shh. No, I've already pledged allegiance to my flag, so I'm free. You know, I saw Dave Weiss in chat earlier. I'm going to give him a congratulations. Just at 92,000 blue dots.
Nice. I was thinking about that last night. If you don't know what we're talking about, folks, we're talking about an app invented, created by one of our buddies. You may have heard of him before as Flat Earth Dave. And DITRH is his channel here on YouTube, but he has created an app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. If it's not by Blue Water Bay, you're getting scammed. It's such a good app that other people have made apps copying his to try to make money off of it. That's how great of an app this is. But if you're new to Flat Earth, and this idea that, hey, maybe, they've told us some stories about where we live, then this is the app for you. All the videos that we've put out over the last 6-7 years, they're hard to find on YouTube. You can search them by the name of the video and the name of the creator, and you still might not find it. If you don't believe me, go back and watch YouTube's CEO of the time, who just retired recently. Imagine that. With all this Twitter stuff going on. But, and she said that they've been shadow banning things like Flat Earth. Actually use those words, Flat Earth. So it's hard. It is. If you're just getting into this and you want to see some amazing content, that it's going to be hard to find just about anywhere else. I mean, you could sit there and search for 4 hours and get 2 of the videos, or you could spend the $2.99 on the app and spend those 4 hours just cycling through video after video after video on any topic, any question you could have about this place. It's all in there. So it is a great tool for gathering resources and for sharing resources. You can find so many people on this app, 92,000 of them actually, on this app. I mean, you can get in contact with these people. It's amazing. Got the friend finder. It's starting up the quiz show here is his next big thing. It's amazing. Go check it out. It's the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. Sorry, I had to get that in there. It's been a while since I plugged the app.
It is. And I'd pull it up, but I've not connected my new phone to my computer yet.
So I see things in chat that are interesting. The most interesting one I see right now says, speaking of apps, I will be releasing an app in the next little while. A 364-day calendar app. That will be coming from our buddy Lucas, LC King. Yes, I'm excited, my friend. I can't wait to see that. What was the other thing that I thought was kind of interesting here? Chilster Deluxe. While someone hacks your phone. And then I also saw about a Flat Earth People Finder. Where was that at? Damn, there's too many things that's going by too quick. But so, it's one of those things. I get it. These days, everybody's worried about privacy and tracking. And well, guess what? You don't have any, and they do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I know hiccups, people that might help you
If you-
change lives.
If you bought the phone, then they're already doing all that stuff. Come on.
All right, unless you're sitting in a Faraday cage.
It's not just your phone, it's your toaster, your microwave oven, your
being tracked, your oven is
refrigerator,
recording you, so
stove, your washer and dryer. And this isn't conspiracy theory talk. The head of our NSA back in 1994 said this, folks. Almost 20 years ago, they said they were listening, and they called it your ambient background noise is what they're listening to. 1994. Think about that. 20 years ago, head of our NSA came out and said, "Oh yeah, we've got devices and everything recording you." So yeah, they were doing it before you had a cell phone. Get over it.
Looks like Flat Fact is releasing an app as well. Lots of awesome things happening out there. Including me getting unsubscribed to a number of channels I've seen since the weekend, especially this one. Let me go fix that. Lord. So go check your subs. I know you think you're all cool, but you're not. They've taken at least 20 of your subs away over the last few weeks. Trying to clean up your line. They don't want you having too many videos coming through that might confuse you.
Am I missing something, or did the SpaceX get their satellite Starlink working properly finally?
There was one.
I remember they were sending stuff back to people and this and that and yada, yada, yada. Now they're starting up a new global roaming Starlink service, which costs $800 up front, $200 a month now. I mean, if the first one didn't work all that well, let's go buy the more expensive version now. Oh, they do offer a 30-day full refund on kit. Yeah, there you go. So I'm sure we'll hear about this in a few months about how cats are messing up the dishes and the wind blew a little bit. And I mean, it is a great idea. It's just you need to have, a product that works. And they just haven't got there yet. I can't really say too much, though. I've never tried it. I don't know anybody who's tried it. All I can go by is what I've read other people say. I don't know how many people have it. I wonder if it's taken off finally or what. So, New Mexico prosecutors downgrade charges against Alec Baldwin in the Rush shooting. So it's no longer involuntary manslaughter. But they're not going to tell me what it is. What? The court documents filed on Friday show that Baldwin still faces one count of involuntary manslaughter, a fourth-degree felony that carries a sentence of 18 months in prison. But prosecutors have removed what's known as a firearm enhancement as part of the criminal code that extends prison sentences when firearms are involved in the commission of a crime.
Wait.
So a firearm was used, but they're removing the part that says that a firearm was used. What are your thoughts, Josh? Does that make sense to you?
Well, no. I mean, let's do that with anything.
Well, he used a gun, but he's gonna go to jail longer if we say that he used a gun. So we'll just pretend like he didn't use a gun.
Right. What happens with most cases when you don't have a murder weapon? Oh, guess what? You're accused of shooting him. No, I'm not. There was no gun used, bitch. How did I shoot him without a gun, bitch? Check it out. There's no gun endorsement on this charge, is there, bitch? I must not have used the gun, bitch. How did I kill anybody, bitch? Bye, bitch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the fuck that's supposed to work. Oh, you beat somebody to death with a baseball bat. Well, turns out we can't include that baseball bat as evidence because don't want to. It looks really bad if we say that we've got the ball bat that you used to beat somebody to death with. So we're just going to kick this out. Now look. Have fun with that court case.
What do you think? Is this like an open shut case?
As a prosecutor, how in the hell do you even move forward? If the judge says, now remember, there was no firearm used in the shooting of this director, and go. What the fuck?
Clown world.
Clown world.
We got about 5 minutes left before the break. Imagine that. Workers on a 4-day week are happier and just as productive. I can believe I can believe both of it. When you give people a job to do, and they only, they have a certain amount of time to do it, a lot of people get it done. But, I remember Just Jack telling me this a lot. He was very good at his job. He would take civil engineering, specs and put them into the computer in CAD, AutoCAD, computer-aided drafting, with all the specs and everything. And he is really, really good at it. He's very quick. He's very precise. He doesn't mess up, but he gets the job done very fast. Well, his bosses didn't like this. They wanted him in the office 40 hours a week working. Well, if you don't have 40 hours of work for him to do, they told him to sit there and pretend like he was working. So, yes, I could see this. You could have dropped Just Jack down to 2 days a week, and he still would have got the same amount done. Because you only have a certain amount of work for him to do, and you tell him he's got to be there 40 hours a week and look busy, he's going to do that. Instead of saying, get it done and then go ahead and take off, you did your work, now you're free. No, pretend like you're working. Does that make sense? Is that good for either of the two people in this relationship? Wouldn't it be better to say, hey, great job. We're going to pay you all the money that we owe you, and now you have the rest of the time to yourself. Maybe next week we'll have more work for you to do, so, yada, yada, yada. But to tell somebody that's very good at their job to sit there and pretend to work because it makes us feel better instead of paying you the amount of money we owe you and you only, taking this small amount of time when it takes other people a much larger, he should get a bonus for that. Not penalized. But this is the way they have everything working. We need the hours in the office because of this and red tape restrictions. Nonsense. So yeah, I could definitely see that you could make it a 4-day work week and all the work would still get done. I could definitely imagine. I bet it's not just like that where Just Jack was working. I bet it's like this in many places. Not your lower type factory jobs where they're pumping out a product that's coming out of machine. If that machine's not running, chances are you're going home. Or you're going to be pushing a broom around, sweeping up in a factory. That's how that works. The machines aren't running. They don't need people. They send them home. They're not going to pay you to stand around and do nothing. Now, in certain office type settings where a number of man hours are required to get certain government write-offs and this and that and blah, 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 all the bullshit red tape stuff, I'm sure this happens a lot. People able to get, I mean, look at the movie Office Space. I know it's just a movie, but the guy's like, yeah, I probably do about 15 minutes of work a week. Actual work. And I think that's going on all over the place, most likely.
Looks here like you've been missing a lot of work. I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
It's crazy to think that way. You have it, and he went and found other people that would pay him good money to work at his pace. And I'm so glad. Because I think when you're very good at something and you've been doing it for 20 years, that you should get perks like that. Like, hey, it takes this guy 5 hours to do this where it takes me 1.5. Yes, take that 3.5 hours and go enjoy yourself. You've earned it. You have all this time and all this knowledge and the skills that you earned this extra time. It's yours. Go ahead. Go home to your family. Enjoy some time with them while the sun is still out. This whole everything's got to be down to a certain minute and this and that, that's not the way to do it. I know it's easier to do your paperwork that way. It's easier to pay people on a, when they clock out on the hour. But are you really getting the most out of your employees when you're doing stuff like that? Do you think that you're keeping them happy? That's just my 2 cents. Yes, Ian is correct. Control freaks run the world, Zach. Yes. I don't know if you've ever met him, but human resource lady, I've met a couple that help create this and keep this going, this idea. Now, I've met some human resources ladies that were on the total opposite side. They would have been for just Jack, just go home, dude. You did it. You don't need to be sitting around here in this office. And she was a rare one, though. She was like the only human resources lady I ever thought was cool. But most of them are sticklers for, this kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We're not doing breaks.
Oh, yeah, so did I. Yep, me too.
Had forgot. So I guess we won't be having a break here, folks.
We do have space lettuce and stuffs to get into.
Yeah, I saw you dropping some stuff in there last night. Take us away. Where are we going first?
I don't know. Let me pull my window and see what I have stuffed in there tab-wise. So this one I just threw in there because it seemed like it was kind of an interesting read. This is from the Egypt Independent. So you can kind of imagine sort of the differences in their reporting versus something you might find here in the States or elsewhere. But I thought it was just kind of interesting. It says there was... Jesus, I need my glasses. I hate getting old. A call with the Iraqi geologist at the College of Science at the University of Baghdad on Sunday evening at Sada al-Balad channel discussed how earthquakes occur and why and warned of yet more devastating ones in the future. So Awad predicted that another major earthquake could occur soon, explaining that the globe rotates very quickly, and when any other planet approaches it, its rotation movement decreases, which causes Earth plates to move. I just never heard that explanation before, ever.
Wait, redo that again? Sorry. What was that?
So, Awad predicts that another major earthquake could occur soon, explaining that the globe, rotates very quickly. And when any other planet approaches it, its rotation movement decreases, which causes the Earth plates to move.
What? The rotation decreases. Citation.
Right. The Earth's voltage is expected to increase on February 27th and 28th as a result of the planets and the moon approaching the Earth, he said, causing more earthquakes to occur.
Sorry.
Nope, I loved it. This is exactly what I thought would happen.
They're electrically neutral. How could the voltage do anything? Good Lord. And you're a scientist? Oh, my goodness.
Well, he warned that from February 20th to the 27th, the moon will enter between the Earth and the sun, and Mars will approach the Earth. Therefore, there will be an excess voltage on Earth, possibly leading to major earthquake.
Doesn't the moon go between the Earth and the sun like every month? My goodness.
No, but it does sort of ramble on a bit there too, but I just saw that one, got those first couple paragraphs and thought, nope, this is going to be good.
Let's just make shit up. Let's just make shit up. Nobody knows what's really going on. Nobody cares. I need to get paid. Just write anything. Good Lord.
The Earth's voltage will increase, which will make Earth lighter, of course, don't you know? And as a result, there'll be less of the bending of space-time. So from the 22nd to the 27th, we should all lose about 4.5 pounds while the earthquakes occur.
So we're going to move closer to the sun?
Because science.
Since our voltage increases, wouldn't that make us... Oh, my goodness. This is so stupid. Okay, I'll explain why I'm so mad, folks. I'm sorry. Okay. The reason they say there's gravity is because there's no atmosphere up there for electric charges to travel. You have to have an atmosphere for an electric field to permeate through a space. An electric field will not permeate through nothing. It will not, travel into a vacuum. That's why they had to have gravity, because all these bodies are supposedly electrically neutral, meaning that they don't interact electrically. They're too far away. Their charges never get close enough to interact, ever. If they did, they would move closer or push further away from each other. But this doesn't happen. It wouldn't be just a slowing of the spin. The actual planet would get closer to the sun in their model if it was all electrically connected. Because the Earth has a mass negative charge compared to the sun, and the sun is positive, and positive and negatives attract. So they would move closer. But they're electrically neutral, so this phenomena does not happen. Coulomb's law does not take place because they don't interact. They're not close enough to interact. The charges aren't big enough, and they don't permeate a vacuum. So him saying that our charge is going to get bigger because of planets doing this, like I said, citation, where are you getting this from? This is Narnia. This isn't even close to being physics.
Yes, Zach, I do agree with you. I'm sorry to interject here, but that is absolutely true. Electricity is required by the laws of physics to have something to travel on, like a conductor. If there's a vacuum, there is no conductor.
Yes, thank you. That's a great way of looking at conductor. I forget. I start talking scientific and using all those words. But yeah, just a conductor, just something to allow it to travel like a wire. You know, you get the electricity that travels through the wire. It needs the wire. Well, like up there in space, for an electric field to be created, it needs an atmosphere, something to grab onto. And this is testable, provable. You can put stuff in a vacuum and see that it doesn't get that electric field. It just doesn't. The electric field will, now you can't erase the electric field. The electric field will gather on the inside of the box walls. But it's always there. It's just where there is no atmosphere or no matter, the electricity has nothing to like grab onto. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. How you doing, man? Welcome.
I am doing wonderful.
You ready for tonight?
I'm more nervous than you are. So yeah, I'm trying to. I'm gonna get some good sleep, and then be ready. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it on the show Sunday. Jaron was playing the Rocky music and everything. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and there's no hard feelings at all because these questions, I promise you, are not easy.
Oh, no. I mean, it's for charity, right? I mean, we're not fighting for blood. Not loser gives up their firstborn. There's no backside bets. Maverick, you're mine. No, I'm joking.
Oh, what the hell?
But no, yeah, this is, you know, two buddies just hanging out, having fun with you guys.
Absolutely, yes. And that is the main point, to have some fun, hang out, and
raise some money for some people that need it.
There we go. And
That's a
I'm going to
great
be putting in some more money tomorrow, and you'll see that when it happens.
But yeah, it's going to be fun. I need to, I definitely need to get some sleep too. What time does it start tonight?
Oh shit, it's tonight, not tomorrow. Roughly 5:45 East Coast.
That's your time,
Sorry,
right?
West Coast.
Yeah, so like 8:45. Well, Jaron's definitely got the advantage from it being so late.
Okay.
But no, I'll get a good nap in. I should be. I've been staying up late for the last couple weeks. And then trying to change my schedule around for Tuesdays and Fridays. But no, this is going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. Yeah, I did horrible on the first one. I didn't get very many of the questions right. Jaron said he did pretty good though. I was like, oh crap, he's gonna kick my butt on this one. But we're gonna have fun. I mean, Jaron and I have been in front of, you know, cameras and in front of groups of people quite a bit, and we're, you know, there's not a whole bunch of nerves, and I kind of saw that in the first one a little bit. People that are first time being on, you know, it's nerve wracking just that alone without being asked questions. So definitely on the ones that I don't know, we're going to have some fun with those for sure. You know, it's going to be fun.
Well, if you guys want, maybe towards the end of the show, I will throw out a whole bunch of random ones just to try and warm you up a little bit.
No.
Okay.
Nope. No, it'll be fine. If I know them, I know them. If I don't, I won't.
Oh, I'm not talking about the questions I'm going to ask. I'm just talking about random, like, trivia.
Yeah, so you're just making all these questions up. That is awesome.
Yeah, I can do
you
this.
You need to make
all
like
day long.
A Trivial Pursuit board game for truthers.
Yeah, I've got like 2,000 questions written down, so I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know how many Trivial Pursuit has, but it'll be like the real truth, Trivial Pursuit. Yeah, I used to love playing that game when I was younger. Me and my buddies would just sit around and get drunk without the board or any of the pieces or anything, just pulling out cards and asking questions. Played
All
a
right,
lot of
so
Jeopardy
I
back
got
in
a
the day.
question. Space lettuce, right?
Right. Undoubtedly.
Where did the first space lettuce get grown? That's a trivia question I just thought of, and I don't even know the answer to.
In space.
Aboard the ISS. No. Well, yeah, I'd say aboard the ISS. I remember the first time was like 2002, I think. I might be wrong, but I would say aboard the ISS.
I don't think that's right.
Did they do it before that? Did they do it on the Mir? Or the Skylab?
Pretty sure they grew some on Skylab. Don't quote me on that.
That would be like 70 something. 76 maybe? 78? I forget what year Skylab ran.
I forget too.
All right, what do you got? Andrew?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
You know what?
Let's see.
I think that might be wrong. I think it might be the ISS because it was requiring those blurple LED grow lights, I think, because you're not running HPSs up there. So there had to have been at a time when they had LED lighting in order to grow them. I think that was really the only thing they were missing was the lighting situation.
Red romaine lettuce was grown. Now this is red romaine lettuce. I don't know why I just put. I put first lettuce. In May of 2014. That sounds kind of late. Well, let's see. What was the first vegetable grown in space? 1961. Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human to orbit Earth. Oh, who cares?
That's actually a trivia question. I shouldn't say that, but.
Okay, which vegetable was first grown in space by NASA? The first growth test of crops in an advanced plant habitat aboard. No, that was the first growth test, blah, 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 July of 2021. No, that's definitely the first. Just the first. That's all I want. 2015, 2014. Yeah, it looks like the lettuce, as far as lettuce goes, that red romaine lettuce back in 2014. I thought it was before that. First food grown. Okay, here we go. In October of 1995. The potato became the first vegetable to be grown in space. So a potato. Yeah. That's what they're saying was the very first one was 1995, a potato. Now, was it grown on the space station, though, or was this like in a satellite? Wow, it says nothing. This is like, that's it. Here's this whole article. This is from G. Visser and Sons. potato became the first vegetable to be grown in space. NASA and the University of Wisconsin-Madison created the technology with the goal of feeding astronauts on long space voyages and eventually feeding future space colonies. That is the end of that webpage article. So the potato. So they didn't eat that potato, I take it? Because they're saying they didn't eat the first food grown in space until 2015, which is like 20 years after they grew that potato. Well, that's about NASA's timeline, right?
If NASA brought me a vegetable and said, "Here, we grew this in space," I'd say, "Fuck off."
Astronauts had a taco taste test using the first chili peppers grown in space, and this was just last year. I mean, that's tax dollars well spent. We've, from the 60s when we were growing potatoes, now we're all the way growing up to chili peppers. I mean, I think that's some huge, huge improvements. Probably worth the billions and billions and billions of dollars that we've invested in being able to figure out how to grow not only potatoes, but lettuce and chili peppers. I mean, it's fucking amazing. What a world. What a world we live in. We can grow potatoes, lettuce, and chili peppers. Fucking amazing.
And they're learning to make, what is it? Where they take their plasma out of their blood and mix it with their shit and
paint
Mars
the mural.
dust. Yeah, and they're going to make their houses out of that.
Right.
Isn't that kind of like bee or what are they, hornets? Don't they like shit their stuff out and then build their hive out of it? Maybe I'm wrong. But that just doesn't sound sanitary. Building your house out of piles of shit. Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
Well, the only way it really becomes feasible is if you can figure out some way to generate more human beings that are made just for the creation of your housing. Right? Maybe you can find a way just to milk some humans and just keep drawing plasma from them. Right? We'll just put them on some carnival swings and spin them around real fast and just wait until the plasma starts to seep out the top of their head. And we'll collect,
that sounds horrible.
We'll collect plasma off these. We'll farm plasma off of human beings in order to build houses on Mars.
And by the way, on YouTube, I just checked this out. Space lettuce, if you type it in, there are videos on it with Mark Kelly, I think. I don't know, some fucking bald nonsense person.
Yeah, he's the one that's always wearing diapers up there doing backflips.
And I guess it is possible that 2014 was the first one because it became the meme that it is today that we use today. Because they just kept pumping out stories that they grew lettuce for the first time in space. And then 6 months later, they'd tell us, we've grown lettuce for the first time in space. Then 3 months later, they'd put out a story that says, we just grown lettuce for the first time in space. And pretty soon I started to scratch my head and said, wait a minute. This can't be right. They can't all three be growing lettuce for the first time in space. I think some of this news is garbage. And space lettuce was born.
Shout out, Liz. Thank you for the super chat with that pair.
Muchos gracias. I must have missed it. Shout out to Mike D over there on Rockfin as well. Sorry.
I was going to check and got sidetracked looking at the chat. Yes, thank you.
Have you ever heard of the name Quor?
Try that one more time.
Q-U-A-O-A.
Less of a question.
Yeah, Quor. QUAOAR. Man, throw another vowel. Or throw
Star
another
Trek
vowel in there. Yeah. Not enough vowels.
I think you have to roll a 20 initiative in order to defeat Quar.
Yeah, it's like 4 vowels in a row. QUAOR. Quaor, maybe. Well, this is the new ring planet that defies known physics, discovered in outer reaches of our solar system, supposedly. They found a new dwarf planet. So we need to find the etymology of this QUAOAR. What's... I've never heard of a god called whatever that is.
Well, don't you know that spelling and pronunciation are just societal constructs? QUOAR. According to Wikipedia, they pronounce that Steve.
Steve. Screw you if you don't.
I identify as Steve.
So it's the largest object found to orbit our sun since Pluto was discovered in 1930. Quarar is the third largest dwarf planet or planetoid of the 3,000 that orbit the sun.
Steve, don't dead name me. My name is Steve.
Now, have you ever heard of this? They're saying they've known about this since 2018, during which astronomers discovered it has a ring about 7 times the planet's 690-mile diameter. So for 3 years they were watching this and never thought, hey, let's say this out loud. And it was found via the common detecting method of occultation, which is the process of measuring the drop in light from a light source that comes when an orbiting exoplanet eclipses it. Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. The astronomers looked at the data. Okay, so they've never seen this thing. They looked at the data and determined that there was something more than just a planet blocking the light behind it. They saw drops in brightness that were not caused by Quarar, but that pointed to the presence of material in a circular orbit around it. Oh my goodness.
You're a liar!
Damn right you are.
No, Gore, no.
Nope, I got it. I even threw it up there when you had it up the first time, trying to get it out as fast as I could so people could see the beauty that is Gore. It's as good as
my God.
There's an excellent documentary about Gore. If you're a fan or if you have no clue and want to just be amazed that such a thing exists, then I highly recommend looking it up and finding it. It's easy to get. It's streaming somewhere right now, but yeah.
I used to get like almost nightmares from their videos. They had some wicked, horrible videos with like monsters eating people and all kinds of crazy stuff.
That was, part of the art. Part of the art.
Yeah, if you've never seen Guar, go. You could even, if you don't like heavy stuff, just turn the sound down and watch. Just watch this crazy, mad world that they created on this set. Because it's very artistic. I will say that for sure.
I saw Guar back in the 90s.
Well, they truly are. Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead, sir.
I was just going to say, I saw Guar back in the 90s, and I think it was amidst the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton stuff.
Yeah, I know the thing you're about to refer to.
Now, mind you, this was like they were opening for ICP, and I went there to see the Insane Clown Posse. So,
oh my God, what a double bill that is!
expect, a certain amount of messiness when you're going to see an ICP concert. But when Gwar came out, they came out in costumes of like Bill and Hillary and were playing their songs. But as the song would progress, they would slowly start to peel layers of flesh off the face of Bill and Hillary until by the end of the song, there was nothing but a bloody nub of a spinal cord sticking out of a neck, spewing blood all over the crowd. It was the most unreal thing I had ever seen at the time. Not at all what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting a show from ICP, but I wasn't necessarily expecting Gwar to be there and then for Gwar to be spewing Clinton blood all over the crowd.
They began with a group of artists. Like literally, they were art students that were making these bizarre. I don't want to spoil it. Go watch the documentary. It's really amazing how it evolved. No spoilers. I'm not zacking y'all.
So
shout out to my buddy Cupid, another big Gwar fan. Oh, that's such a deep inside joke. I wish I could share it deeper for y'all, but you would have to have an hour-long story to get there. So, but definitely the Cupid Shuffle. Shout out, Cupid.
So this is new. I haven't heard of this. This is from February 15th. Blue Origin claims its new method unlocks unlimited solar power.
Its new method of what? Where are you getting solar power from at night? Smart guy.
Yeah.
When there's no sun, you say you're generating electricity from the sun. Okay.
And if you don't have the sun, then what do you do?
Well, isn't that what nighttime is? They're saying they don't even need the sun. You don't need the sun, and you don't need to store it with batteries. We will just constantly give you solar energy, solar power, limitless. You're welcome. Don't even need the sun.
What is the name of that article again?
Blue Origin claims its new method unlocks unlimited solar power. It's by interestingengineering.com.
Okay.
Well, throughout the day, we called different people all around the world and asked them if they saw the sun, and they said, yeah, so we call it unlimited.
And I just found my favorite part of the article. Blue Origin says that solar cells can operate in the moon's harsh environment for over a decade. How do you know that?
Right. Because
did you put this thing in a vacuum chamber for a decade and change the temperature from like negative 200 to positive 200 for a decade? Because that's really the only way you can actually say that kind of stuff, is if it's been tested.
And the moon dust that just chews up the astronaut spacesuits that they claim happens. And just, after like 24 hours are just completely useless. They're practically disposable, they say, because the moon dust just wreaks such havoc on all the seals and all the everything else, because it's just always ever present and gritty and just horrible on their super sciencey stuff. But your claim is 10 years. Solar panels, 10 years, on the moon, no problem. Take our word.
They only work for 20 down here on Earth.
At best. That's literally the probably best case scenario. They scoured.
Like 12 to 15 is probably like your average.
Yeah, user cases and trying to figure out who can we say has been using the same set of solar panels for the absolute longest, so we can claim that is how long you can get the usage out of solar panels.
And solar panels are horrible for the environment as far as trying to break them down to reprocess them. It takes a lot of work, a lot of human hands to pull these things apart to get the materials back. And there's, a lot of stuff in there you don't want to be going back into the earth.
But it's on the moon. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? We'll just go destroy another planet real quick. Or a moon, sorry, just a moon.
Satellite.
No big deal.
Satellite.
And of course, they're still tracking asteroids and talking about them. Asteroid targeted by NASA's Lucy spacecraft gets a marvelous name. Okay, who cares? Meet Dinkinesh. Yeah. The tiny main belt asteroid that will be visited by the Lucy spacecraft in November. Okay.
That's what I'm going to start calling ballers. Don't be such a Dinkinesh.
What a marvelous name. Yeah, they've been discovering some really old stuff over in Iraq lately. Ancient Sumerian palaces and whatnot. A lot of new Sumerian tablets to be gone over. But, how much of this could be planted out there? I mean, if it's carved into stone, we can't carbon date stone. You can only carbon date organic material, if I'm not 100% wrong about this. So, I mean, you could probably go make one of these and stick it out somewhere and have somebody find it and they'll be like, oh, look at this, is 5,000 years old.
Right.
Basically, the way carbon dating works is they measure the radiation,
the half-life
of the carbon element, right? That has because whatever it is absorbs this, is what they say, and over this amount of time, they can estimate how much is left by how much it is giving off. Because that makes a lot of sense. There's no chance that, say, certain trees may have absorbed less or more energy sitting right next to each other, like plants do. Anyway, sorry, I get a little,
the
little fucking anal about the carbon dating thing because it's bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
Not even what they really use, though, the way I understand it. Potassium argon, I think, is their preferred method of trying to lie when they say they're testing shit. And don't ask me how they use potassium argon to date. Probably very much in the same way.
Let me find it.
Because I think they claim that nuclear half-life.
I have an interwebby.
Sort of like a clock. It's predictable.
Radiocarbon dating, a key tool for determining the age of prehistoric. Okay, so this work combines data points from tree rings, lake and ocean sediments, coral and stalagmites, among other features. And the time frame for radiocarbon dating can go back 55,000 to 5,000 years further. What? The time frame for radiocarbon dating. Oh, extends the time frame for radiocarbon dating back to 55,000 years ago, 5,000 years further than the last calibration update in 2013. Still not telling me how it happens. And that's what I looked up. Small window. Dating games. Okay, the basis of radiocarbon dating is simple. All living things absorb carbon from the atmosphere and food sources around them, including a certain amount of natural radioactive carbon-14. When the plant or animal dies, they stop absorbing, but the radioactive carbon they've accumulated continues to decay. Measuring the amount left over gives an estimate, of how long something has been dead. But the basic is, see, this just gets on into more bullshit. I don't really see it anywhere in here. I'm looking for it too, Josh. This just really is talking about a recalibration of it all and how it's needed soon, and because they're starting to think maybe their dates are a little off.
I never understood how you could do that. Say, okay, well, this much carbon came off of this in 10 years. So in 1,000 years, this much has to come off. It's like, no. That's not how chemical processes work. And, I mean, look at heat. The colder the water, the hotter or the shorter amount of time it takes to start boiling. If that, you know what I'm saying? Things change with the environment.
Because
so that animal didn't have twice as much carbon as this other animal over here because of its environment around it. So this one's automatically older because it was in an area that had more carbon for it to intake, even though it died 10,000 years after this other one. I just don't get it. I just don't.
Geologists do not use carbon-based radiometric dating to determine the age of rocks. Carbon dating only works for objects that are younger than about 50,000 years, and most rocks of interest are far older than that. Because of the short lengths of carbon-14 half-life, carbon dating is only accurate for items that are thousands to tens of thousands of years old. Most rocks, I just read that same sentence above. God almighty, I hate this kind of bad writing. Geologists must therefore use elements with longer half-lives, such as potassium-40. I finally got there. And also argon, which has half-lives of 1.26 billion years, and beryllium-10 has a half-life of 1.52 million years. These are how they date rocks. Bullshit.
Who are you? Who are you to argue? Who are you to just say bullshit? You don't know. You don't know.
You don't have a degree. Well, actually, Walter was all about biology and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit, but not geology.
Well, it's funny. You get a geologist and a gemologist in the same room, and they're going to be fist fighting within an hour. One's going to be explaining, no, this stuff grows a lot faster than that. And the other, no, it takes billions of years. I mean, you can find trees that are rock at the bottom, and the tree is still alive at the top. This happens. You can hang things in waterfalls that are high in mineral content. Hang a shoe. In 6 months, it'll be a stone shoe. The shoe will gather all those minerals and crystallize out of the water in months. It doesn't take even a year to do this. So no, to form a crystal or a rock type thing, it doesn't take millions of 50,000 plus years nonsense. That's why geology and gemology are not taught even in the same places. You have to go to a trade school to learn gemology. It's a specialized trade. You go to university to learn geology because it's just all made up bullshit. Now, a gemologist who's dealing with, $10,000 plus pieces of jewelry, you want that person to know how to find out if it's fake or not, to know exactly what this gem actually is and this and that. And I mean, because people can't grow this stuff in labs, a lot of these different gems and stuff. And this isn't new technology. The emerald tablets by Hermes Trismegistus. In the tablet, it says he grew those emerald tablets himself. He didn't find giant sheets of emerald and then had it chiseled into it. He grew them. He made them. And I doubt it took him 50,000 years to do it. Yeah, it's like baking a cake. If the ingredients are there and the environment is correct, your cake will bake and you'll have a cake. But those ingredients can sit in that oven turned off for 50,000 years, and you still ain't going to have no cake. Just saying. Exactly. Seeking Star, it's the essence of alchemy, how everything works. If you're interested in alchemy and want a little bit of a history lesson on it and kind of just an insight onto how some of these people think the world works, a great book is Real Alchemy, A Primer of Practical Alchemy by Robert Allen Bartlett. He actually was the headmaster of an alchemical school in Washington.
If only I could find someone to read that to me.
You could go to my channel and pretty much see me reading, I think, the first 9 chapters.
Yeah, you did, my friend.
Yeah, I never got into the stone stuff. When you're dealing with stones and metals and alchemy, it's very dangerous. You're dealing with very viscous, toxic chemicals that come out of these stones. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's real easy to die. Ask Isaac Newton. Supposedly he died consuming too much mercury in the wrong form. But yeah, it's real easy to get real hurt real fast messing with alchemy of stones. So they say you have at least 2 decades of plant alchemy under your belt before you even start to practice alchemy with stones. Yeah, exact. Seeking Star Water says, yes, they want you to think it's witchcraft. When I was staying with Just Jack, helping him build a garden at his last residence, that was one of the first things I told him. I was like, you know, I know how you and your family are, and I don't want you to freak out, but if you want me to leave, that's fine. But I, practice and dabble in alchemy. He's like, oh, well, that's no big deal. Alchemy is all throughout the Bible. He's like, yeah. He's like, of course, they want you to think it's witchcraft and stuff like that. But no, it's just occulted knowledge that they don't want the common person to have. So they made us think that it's witchcraft and, goes against the creator and this and that, when really alchemy is just physics and understanding the alchemical processes of this amazing place we live in. It helped me find the creator and realize our potential. Yeah, it's really neat subject to get into. And you get into the history and they made making gold illegal back in the day. Now, how many do they make flying without any machine illegal? No, because we can't do that. Human beings don't just take off and start flying. So if they made laws against doing something, that probably means that it was a possibility at one time. Just saying. I think that there was so much knowledge lost. I mean, practicing alchemy at one time was considered illegal, where they would come and destroy your lab and all your notes and everything, throw you in prison, or just kill you. They don't want common people making all these connections and learning how the world really works. I was thinking about this yesterday. They have us dumbed down to the perfect spot. There's a reason technology hasn't advanced in certain areas. Yes, we have electricity, and our electronics have gotten more and more amazing since the birth of electricity, but our ways for transporting it and creating it and harnessing it have not, supposedly. That doesn't make sense to me. What does make sense is that all these technologies have already been thought of and created. And there are people that realize that they would lose control. Not so much money or this or that, but control. And that is the reason they don't release all these technologies that we have. They don't want you to be able to go up and sit on a mountain somewhere and build your house that doesn't have a road going to it. And you could have all the power you need with this little machine and you could have a vehicle that could get you anywhere on Earth within a day. They don't want that. They want you on a grid in a small little area. And if we had all the technology that I believe is already we're capable of creating, you could live on top of a mountain in Colorado if you wanted to and work in California. You know, fly back home and not be hooked up to their grid, not have all this stuff around you where they can monitor and censor you and all this kind of stuff. All right, rant over. Sorry about that. We got what, about 11 minutes?
Something like that. So before we do get out of here, I want to thank Joy and Caleb there in the chat, and David hasn't made it yet, but thank you as well, sir. We had a great show with you Friday, and definitely want to make it happen again soon. It touched a lot of things. I spent probably most of the next day trying to explain it all to my wife because, you know, it's one of those things where if you haven't been kind of into some of the esoteric research that a lot of us have been into, it's a little difficult to kind of wrap your head around a lot of it. I threw the Professor Bulwer Smythe video her way. I did a lot of explanation on some sigils, magic, and things. Just trying to make her understand the energy in these symbols that we live with. And I woke up to, like I said, a great email there from Joy. Kind of really got me thinking a lot about just this whole process, the parasitic invasion and how it is or isn't present in some people versus others. And I'm kind of spinning out here because I don't even know how to explain any of this. Definitely we're going to get back with you, Joe, and get you on here again. And I'll answer your email here in just a few minutes after the show. But in it, you talked about the purple energy plate that I mentioned during the show Friday, which, like I had said, I found those at a I met a lot of great people and in the UFO community when I was in it. Just like a lot of communities, you know, that get started for a lot of the right reasons, it got infiltrated with a lot of people with, you know, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of nefarious ideas, and trying to derail a lot of people looking for some answers. Anyway, I met some great people, and one of those beautiful souls pointed me to these purple plates and explained that, you know, it was based on Tesla technology. Now, this was also something that I found at these same conventions, was people handing out mimeographed, stapled, sometimes paper clipped, just information about Tesla, because at that time, there wasn't any information. You definitely didn't find him in school. He wasn't in libraries. He wasn't on, I mean, there wasn't really an internet accessible at home. So these people were literally handing out information with some patents and things like that in them. So he was kind of new information for us all at that point. And then these plates came into play. And so, as Joy mentioned there on the show Friday, she's had me in her machine kind of monitoring my health, my parasitic issues, etc. And she seemed to see that I just had a very minimal amount of that going on with me. And so her idea is it could be the fact that I've carried one of these things around in my back pocket literally for about 30 to 35 years. And at one point I had like 4 or 5 of them that had been, you know, passed out to family members. My mom had one for years and years. My sister, my ex-wife, anybody that was sick would give them a plate for, you know, a little while and then let it come back home and do a cleansing and kind of clean some of the energy off of it. And that was the maintenance of it is something I've done over the years too. Cleansed it a lot with sunshine and running water. Anyway, so just the idea that we talked about a lot of scary things on the show Friday. And in spite of that, and in spite of my concerns about my own personal health, that sometimes seems a little, lacking, if you will. I definitely don't eat as I should. It's good to hear that maybe something I've done all this time has been effective. And if there's anything I can do to help you work on that idea and get that information out to other people, I certainly will do that, Joy. I definitely will, because it's very exciting for me. I was actually doing a little research into, apparently the company now has kind of gotten international and they're kind of big. So I'm going to reach out to them and see maybe if I can either talk with someone, maybe get somebody on the show from their organization. I don't know how feasible that is. But anyway, just again, I want to thank you for everything that you have done and what we're going to be doing going forward. I'm really excited about it, for damn sure. And I'll be answering the email, like I said, sometime here after the show.
We're getting close. We've got about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Again?
I just had to do this.
I can see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess.
All right, that's all I needed. We'll still get struck, I'm sure, but I needed some Gordon Lightfoot.
That was Lightfoot?
And I completely played. Yeah, I did. I got it now. And when you said it earlier in the show, my mind went to there's a ship lies rigged and waiting in the harbor. That's where I went. Damn, man, I can't get his name now. Fitzgerald? No. Ah, damn it. I'll have to go find it.
What were you going to say, Zach, before we were so rudely interrupted by Gordon Lightfoot?
Oh, I forgot it's gone.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Roger Whittaker. That was it. Sorry.
There's a name I've not heard in a hot minute.
Well, it looks like GameStop is going out. Nobody's going to GameStop anymore. One of the managers is saying, yeah, working at GameStop is like working at a library. I mean, it was inevitable. I used to be a GameStop kid. I used to love walking in there and just looking at all the video games. But now you can get all your video games just from your home, just pushing a button pretty much. Kind of like Blockbuster.
Yep, you used to be able to order the harness you need for your horse to pull your buggy right out of the Sears catalog. But all of those things went by the wayside.
That's the way it happens.
Yep, used to be able to go right to a store and buy used games. Discs.
Wow, Axel just flashed me back saying they had no games when I was a kid except those glass balls on a string. What? I can't tell you the number of shattered wrists I watched happen as a kid with those. I actually got pretty decent with them. The secret was to tie a little loop knot right in the middle so you could hold on to that.
And those are the ones that I had. They had a little plastic ring right there in there. Yeah, they were the click clacks.
That's not real.
As deadly and dangerous as fucking yard darts.
Glass in your eye, right?
Right. Just
Share,
take here.
shower, and flying away.
Just
Yeah.
take two.
If you're really
glass
good, you could
balls
top
smash
and
them.
bottom them. Bottom, clack, top, and bottom. Click, clack, click, clack.
But wasn't that the
Oh
point?
yeah.
If you're super
it going.
good, you can get 2 sets going, one in each hand. We called that double fisting.
Oh, see,
Yeah, when-
videos I saw double
I
fisting
couldn't
was
even
something
get it
completely
out.
different.
Yeah, I couldn't even get it out. I tried. Oh man.
Yeah, we had them that would spark. Did you guys ever see those?
I
They
think
weren't
I've seen those,
glass
yeah.
balls.
Uh-huh.
I saw that they existed, but I never got a hold of any. Yeah.
It was
they
like
were-
covered in the snap powder. When they clack together, they'd make a loud pop.
Yep, make a little spark and release some sort of noxious gas of God knows what.
Well, look, since Axel put it in chat, I'll also give this PSA for anyone who may have kids who are young enough to encourage this type of behavior. No slip and slide for adults. It's bad for your back, yeah, and your neck. I was about 23, 25-ish. My son was really young, just probably getting enough, mobility to me thinking, oh, it's time for him to have a slip and slide. So we went and we got the, whatever iteration there was at the time. I think it had a splashdown pool at the end of it or whatever. Maybe some little side sprinkles on the side to keep it going. I don't remember the details. What I do remember was me reading this huge warning on the box saying, yeah, adults, hey, you're an old fuck. You don't need to even think about doing something as stupid as you're thinking about doing right now. No, you do not put the box down and walk away. But did I listen? No, I ran my big ass and plopped my big ass down on the slip and slide. I got to the end of the runway and I managed to finally get up somehow in the agony I was in and stagger my ass home and stayed in the bed for the next week with my neck jacked up. So yeah, don't go slipping and sliding if you've reached any age over maybe 7. It will hurt you.
It will hurt you.
Here's a biology fun fact. Most men have one testicle that hangs down lower than the other. Because if they didn't, it'd be like the click-clacks, you see. For real, they'd just be banging against each other.
Just clicking and clacking on it. Boy, you get that up and down going in there.
That's no fun. So you got to have one that hangs down just a little bit lower so they're not making full contact. Fun.
Oh, this was years ago, Don. I recovered. I made it. I'm here good now. Yes, we need to stop. Anyway, it's almost done. Thank you all for being here. Man, there was something I did need to say before we left. What was it? I love y'all. I guess that's it.
Guess that's it.
Love y'all.
And if you see some guy sitting in a chair with his legs spread wide, maybe he does take up a little more room than necessary. Not all of them hang a proper amount low. Sometimes there's a little bit of clicking and a little bit of clacking, and you got to leave a little bit of extra room so that doesn't happen. Otherwise, you're just walking around in constant pain. So don't just judge a guy because he's sitting with his legs spread open. We've got testicles, and they're sensitive. Stay off our balls. Get off my nuts. Anyway, with that, you guys have a great rest of your week. We will be right back here on Friday morning for more of the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio, TFR, well, mostly.
Flatter trivia tonight.
Right, and see, Andrew was there. I was going to maybe give Andrew a shout out, give him a chance to hop back in here, but he may be doing his thing. I see he is. There he is.
No, I'm still here.
Good deal. Any parting words for us, Andrew?
Oh, at the moment, no.
Beautifully well said. I love it. And we will see you guys.
You've learned promo well over here with us at the Iron Round.
Yep.
Melodome tonight. What time? 6 p.m. for the Central people, I believe.
Eastern time. I believe it's going to be about 9 p.m.
Yeah, or 8:45, 9 p.m.
Somebody needs to get the time and set it up for y'all. I'm just being silly.
Keep them on their toes. Keep them guessing. That's what you got to do.
Oh, yeah, that's what we do. Thank y'all.
It works
Thank y'all
so well
much.
for us. Yes, Yes. Thanks, guys. We'll see you back here on Friday. Remember that we do love you. Be good. Be well. Bye-bye.